We are joined by Jay Kesav, the writer, director and actor of 77 Seconds. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here and be selected for the film.
Thank you for sending your film into the Romford International Film Festival. So 77 Seconds, what is it all about?
The film is essentially about a teenager who is, well, acted by me, but I also try to embody myself. And it's about him, and he has a time travel device, and it's all about his, innermost desires. So I delve into the 7 deadly sins, not in that particular order, but into the 7 deadly sins and try and explore sort of the character and what power does to you when you have such a crazy ability to manipulate time.
That's a massive concept. It's absolutely enormous, and you crammed it into such a short space of time. Is this something you want to expand into something bigger?
I have scripts that I write. I write features too, but they're not necessarily ones that I intend to make in the next 5 years or anything. They're more kind of big. That particular concept is something which is generally throughout what I write, but expanding that particular time travel concept into something a bit bigger is something that I have had on my mind, although I've been trying to do other concepts too, just to diversify myself.
Yeah, great. So what inspired this story?
What inspired? Actually, like a lot of films and things in filmmaking, it's a necessity. So it was mid of lockdown, and I think, to be honest, some of the themes about cycles and stuff naturally went in there. I don't even think they were consciously in there, and I wanted to film something. I've seen a lot of people do films in lockdown, and a lot of them were really good, and often they essentially cinematography showcases, and kind of them walking around their house, morning routine, that sort of stuff. And I wanted to have a bit of fun, and I wanted to actually have a conversation between characters. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to be a character, I can't move the camera. If I can't move the camera, I can clone myself, split screen, although a bit of mask, but basic effects. And I went through and I was like, what can I do? I can do twins. Well, I don't have a twin or a brother, so it's not particularly interesting for me. I could do clones, but that brings along other concepts. And I was like, or I can just use my phone as a time machine, and I can talk to literally myself. And that's just what I went up with, and I can just use the same locations. And it's not just reusing locations, it actually makes sense, hopefully. So yeah, that's the reason why I made that film the way I did.
Fantastic. And it's inspirational. It's inspirational for young people to just, it actually says, look, you've got an idea, get out there and do it.
Yes,
yeah.
If you want to be a filmmaker, there are so many videos online about filmmakers giving their top 10 tips, and use story structure and have passion and communicate with your actors well. But the number one thing I hear time and time again, it's almost cliche, is just make something. This film, I didn't expect it to be in a festival, to be honest. It was an experiment, and it was just me having fun, and you don't know where that can get you, and just have fun and be yourself and be a filmmaker. If that's what you want to do, then you can't help but do it. So yeah.
Great answer. So any new projects on the horizon?
Do I have any new projects? Well, yes.
Are you happy to share?
I've actually told very few people about what's coming. Actually,
Yeah.
my parents know. They just know that I have a film coming up. But it is very fun, and hopefully it'll be here next year.
Oh,
because it may or may not be local. I'm not sure if the locations will count as local, but hopefully.
Great.
That's all I could just have a cheeky smile.
That's absolutely fine. You share what you want to share. But we look forward to whatever you say.
So it's part of the script is that you're not meant to really know what it's about. It's hard to describe. Sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. Thank you. So just before we close, give me 1 or 2 films that have inspired you.
One or two films So I'll start with this film in particular. It would be the films of Rian Johnson. So Looper is his time travel film. And it's about what if you met yourself, and that sort of interaction between yourself is what I try to put here, and the very basic cut split screen effects, rather than anything too fancy. You don't go in a box, you go in a car or anything. It's just you got there. And he does those sort of effects throughout his other films. He did Star Wars. He did a music commercial where this couple makes a teleportation machine. I forgot the song, but it's just basic cutting, and that really inspired me. If you can make a $1.4 billion film with those sort of effects, I can do a little experiment, micro budget student film. Other films. I'm a fan of Christopher Nolan. He loves playing with time. I love playing with time. There isn't necessarily a film in particular that inspired it, although the practical effects definitely did. His main time travel film is Tenet recently, which I adored, by the way. In terms of the idea of implying backstory and implying things that happen, and also just confusing how the audience is shaking them up, throw them out, and put them. It's like a roller coaster in a way. And my film, I don't intend for it to be a roller coaster because it's not a crazy film, but I want to confuse people and make people try and think about it afterwards and what's going on. And also just every film that I watch, I've seen since the beginning of lockdown, I've seen about 300 films, and most of them have been good. A lot of them have been great. Every single film I watch that's good and great, I'm like, I want to just do a film that's good. Not necessarily a film that's like that, but I love cinema and I want to make cinema. So yeah, every good film's an inspiration.
Fantastic. And your film is an inspiration too. So thank you so much for submitting to us, and we wish you every success in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.